All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And Doris Burks on the sideline as well.
Young man, so personally, I couldn't be happier for him. I know he's thinking about the game, but I hope he's able to take a moment to just enjoy this accomplishment.
Well said, and I hope so too. I mean, as a player, you want to stay even-keeled, but it's almost impossible. I mean, there's just so much that you've gone through to reach this point. It has to be emotional.
And Charlotte, looking at who they've got. Kid Gilchrist and Williams are at the forward spots. Jeremy Lin is out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Hansbrough in at the center position. Williams with the block. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
A look here at last year in the NBA where the Hornets ranked. First in lowest turnovers a game. 7th in blocks. And they were in the top 10 in opponents' points per game.
And I want to go back to that turnover ranking. Best in the NBA. That's a huge stat to look at when you talk about their ability to execute and the decision-making. They don't beat themselves. And that's a big reason why they won as much as they did.
Hornets trail by 5. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33 and 49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
Miami leading by 3. Udrich, the pass to Stoudemire. Dishes to Freak. Back to Stoudemire. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Amari Stoudemire, with a change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
And for Stoudemire last year, served as a backup big for the Mavs and was still as efficient as ever.
To the left wing. Now here's Hansbrough. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble. I don't think Stoudemire will ever be what he once was, but he is a valuable big to bring off the bench for a contending team in limited minutes.
And it's Freak missing.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Lin kicks to Walker. Back to Lin. Nobody near Williams. Yes! And a nice assist from Lin. 6 points for Williams.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
No doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
Freak kicks to Winslow. Here's Udrich, guarded by Walker, and that one's good. Freak. And that bucket right there, folks, is the first official NBA basket from Freak.
Yeah, and you know, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Hansbrough setting the pick for Kid Gilchrist. Shot clock at 6. Goes back up. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. Miami's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Releases from 15, and again it will fall. That's the good there from Freak. And it's a 3-point Heat lead. And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
Udrich dishes to Freak. Pass to Udrich. Over to the left wing. Winslow. And, oh, he hits the... Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies. So Miami going with a whole new group out there. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for Jefferson. Williams comes in for Cody Zeller. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Kemba Walker in for Jeremy Lin. Freak in at center. Stoudemire out there with Dang. And it's Udrich. And it's Johnson in at the 2 guard. That's the group in the game for the Heat. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
And we get a chance to check out the numbers for Kemba Walker. Good season for him last year. He averaged about 17 points a game, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. And he led the charge when it came to scoring, led the team.
Yeah, he shot the lights out all year long from a variety of spots on the floor.
And that one hits back iron.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
There's a screen by Hansbrough. There's Walker with the 3, but they get it back. Hansbrough, the pass to Walker. The shot by Williams, and they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. Here's Johnson. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Hey, guys, there's no doubt Walker has a lot of the tools needed to be a great point guard. But his shooting percentage is really what has kept him from making the leap. Just not as consistent as he needs to be. And a lot of it has to do with shot selection. That also has to improve. And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
And Udrich kicks to Freak. The pass to Udrich. On the wing, Johnson. Heat moving the ball around. That's good from Dang on the assist by Johnson. Dang's got his second basket of the game. Just thinking again about Kemba Walker's field goal percentage, Greg. You were talking about shot under 40%, Clark, from the floor last year.
Yeah, and I think so much of shooting percentage is a function of shot selection. That's 3 out of the last 4 seasons now under 40% for Kemba. In order to be an elite point guard, that number's got to go up.
Dang with it. Picked up by Kid Gilchrist. 1:44 left to play here in the half. Udrih dishes to Freak.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And that'll be Charlotte as it goes out of bounds. Hornets retain possession. Winslow's checked in for Miami.
Substitution for Heat, Justice Winslow.
Walker against Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. Williams sets a screen for Kid Gilchrist. It's stolen by Stoudemire. And here's the fast break. Winslow's leading the way. And he gets the bucket. Winslow's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Knocked loose. Now Johnson. Pass to Winslow. Walker with it. The dish now to Lamb. Left side Walker. Here's Williams. Kept alive by Charlotte.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Williams. Freak kicks to Stoudemire. Here's Freak. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Here's Walker. He's got 6. Williams, a screen on Johnson. Walker goes in. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
So as we conclude.